Yes, aunties, those 5 years in Chicago were amongst the busiest and happiest of my life.
Yeah, and then we go to South Bend, Indiana.
Doctor, they wouldn't be interested in our experience in Indiana.
Well, Jonathan, you've led a very interesting life, I'm sure. But we really shouldn't have let you talk so late.
My meeting Dr. Einstein in London, I might say, changed the whole course of my life. You remember, I was in South Africa in the diamond business, then Amsterdam, the diamond market. I wanted to go back to South Africa, and Dr. Einstein made it possible for me.
Yeah, a good job, Johnny. When we take his bandages off, he looks so different. The nurse had to introduce me.
I loved that face. I still carry the picture with me.
Oh, yes. That's more the way I remember you, but well, I still wouldn't know you.
I think we'll go back to that face, Doctor.
Yeah, it's safe now.
Well, I'm sure you both want to be going back to where you're going.
My dear aunts, I'm so full of that delicious dinner, I'm unable to move a muscle.
Yeah, it's nice here.
Well, it's very late and...
I found it! I found it!
What did you find, Teddy?
My biography! The story of my life. Here, General, is the picture I was telling you about. Here we are, the two of us, President Roosevelt and General Goethals at Calibra Cut. That one's me, and that one is you.
My, how I've changed.
Well, you see, this picture hasn't been taken yet. Why, we haven't even started working on Calibra Cut. We're still digging the locks. And now, General, you will accompany me to Panama to inspect the new locks.
Oh, no, Teddy. No, not to Panama.
No, that's a long way off. We go some other time.
Nonsense. It's just down in the cellar.
The cellar?
Oh, we let him dig Panama in the cellar.
General Goethals, as President of the United States, Commander-in-Chief of the Army and Navy, and the man that gave you this job, I demand that you accompany me on inspection of the new lock.
Teddy, I think it's time you went to bed.
I beg your pardon? Who are you?
I'm Woodrow Wilson. Go to bed.
No, you're not Wilson. But your face is familiar. You're not anyone I know now. Perhaps later, on my hunting trip to Africa. Yes, you look like someone I would meet in the jungle.
Well, this is Jonathan, your brother.
He's had his face changed.
Yes.
Oh, a nature faker.
Oh, now, Teddy, perhaps you had better go to bed. Jonathan and his friend have to get back to their hotel soon.
General Goethals, inspect the canal.
All right, Mr. President, we go to Panama.
Bully! Just bully! Follow me, General. It's down south, you know.
Well, bon voyage.
Aunt Tabby, I must correct your misapprehension. You spoke of our hotel. We have no hotel. We came directly here.
Oh, well, there's a hotel just down the...
And Martha, this is my home.
Oh, Jonathan, you can't stay here. We need our rooms.
You need them.
Yes, for our lodgers.
Are there lodgers in this house?
Well, not yet, but we planned on having some.
Yes.
And my old room is still free.
But there would be no room for Dr. Einstein.
He'll share the room with me.
No, Jonathan, I'm afraid you can't stay here.
Dr. Einstein and I need a place to sleep. You remembered this afternoon that as a boy I could be disagreeable. It wouldn't be very pleasant for any of us if...
Well, maybe if it's just for tonight.
All right.
Thank
Just
you.
for tonight, Jonathan.
That's settled then, if you'll get my room ready.
It just needs airing out.
Yes, we try to keep it ready to show our lodgers. I'm sure you and Dr. Einstein will find it quite comfortable.
You have a most distinguished guest in Dr. Einstein. I'm afraid you don't appreciate his skill, but you will. Soon you'll see me looking like a very different Jonathan.
He can't operate on you here.
When Dr. Einstein and I get organized, when we resume practice. Oh, I forgot to tell you, we're turning Grandfather's laboratory into an operating room. We expect to be quite busy.
Jonathan, we will not let you turn this house into a hospital.
A hospital? Heavens no. It'll be a beauty parlor.
Hey, Johnny, down in the cell.
Dr. Einstein, my dear aunts have invited us to live with them.
Oh, you fixed it.
You're staying here tonight.
For tonight.
Now, if you'll get my room ready immediately.
For tonight.
Hey, Johnny. When I go down in the cellar, what do you think I find?
What?
The Panama Canal.
The Panama Canal.
Yes, it just fits Mr. Spinalzo. It's a whole teddy dug, 6 feet long, 4 feet wide.
Down there?
Yes, it's like they knew we were bringing Mr. Spinalzo along. Now that's hospitality.
Rather a good joke on my aunts. They're living in a house with a body buried in the cellar.
Yeah. Hey, Johnny, how do we get him in?
Yes, we can't just walk them through the door. We'll drive the car up between the house and the cemetery. Then when they've gone to bed, we'll bring Mr. Spinalzo in through the window.
Oh, bed. Just think. We get to bed tonight.
Easy, Doctor. Remember, you're operating tomorrow, and this time you'd better be sober.
Oh, don't worry, Johnny. I fix you up beautiful.
And if you don't,
Jonathan, your room is ready.
then you two can go to bed. We're moving the car up behind the house.
It's all right where it is. Until morning.
I don't want to leave it in the street. That might be against the law.
Oh, dear.
That's a relief, isn't it?
What are we going to do?
I don't know what
Do
we're
you
gonna
know?
do.
We are not going to let them stay in this house for more than one night. What would the neighbors think? People coming in with one face and leaving with another.
Well, what are we going to do about Mr. Hoskins?
Oh, Mr. Hoskins. Oh, but it can't be very comfortable for him in there. Oh, and he's been so patient, poor dear. Well, we'd better have Teddy take him downstairs right away.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, you know, dear.
I haven't seen Mr. Hoskins yet.
That's right, you were out. Well, you come right over here and see him right now. He's really quite good looking for a Methodist.
Oh!
Bringing the luggage through here.
Your room is ready, Jonathan. You can go right up.
I'm afraid we don't keep Brooklyn hours, but you two run along to bed.
But you two must be very tired, and, well, we don't go to bed this early.
Well, you should. It's time I came home to take care of you. Aunt Martha, did you hear me say go to bed?
Oh, okay.
The instruments can go to the laboratory in the morning, Doctor. Okay. Now then, we're all going to bed.
But I'll stay down here and wait until you're up and turn the lights out.
Down the hall to the left, Doctor. Run along, Aunt Martha. All right, Aunt Tabby.
I'll be right up.
Now, Aunt Tabby, turn out the lights. I'll get the window open. You go around and hand them through.
No, he's too heavy for me. You go outside and push. I stay in here and pull. Then together we both get him down to Panama.
All right. I'll take a look around outside the house. When I tap on the glass, you open the window.
Okay. Hey! Don't cough! Who left this open? Okay, Johnny. Elliot! You lost your leg somewhere. Shh! Sorry, Johnny, that was me. I slept.
Be more careful.
All right. Okay, I got him now. His shoe come off and then... Johnny, quick! Someone at the door. Go! I take care of this. You go quick. Ugh! Yikes!
Miss Abby. Miss Martha. Miss Abby, Miss Martha. Who is it? Is that you, Teddy? Who are you?
Who are you?
I'm Elaine Harper. I live next door.
And what are you doing here?
I came to see Miss Abby and Miss Martha.
Turn on the lights, Doctor. Don't they pay the electric bill? You chose a rather untimely moment to make a social call.
I think you better explain what you're doing here.
We happen to live here.
You don't live here. I'm here every day and I've never seen you before.
Perhaps we'd better introduce ourselves. This is Dr. Einstein.
Dr. Einstein?
A surgeon of great distinction. And something of a magician.
I suppose you're going to tell me you're Boris Karloff.
I'm Jonathan Brewster.
Oh, you're Jonathan.
I see you've heard of me.
Yes, just this afternoon for the first time.
And what did they say?
Only that there was another brother named Jonathan. That's all that was said. Well, that explains everything then. Now that I know who you are, I'll just be running along. If you'll kindly unlock the door.
That explains everything. Just what did you mean by that? Why did you come here at this time of night?
I thought I saw someone prowling around the house. I suppose it was you.
You thought you saw someone prowling around the house?
Yes. Wasn't that you? Wasn't that your car?
You saw someone at the car?
Yes.
What else did you see?
Just someone walking around the house to the car.
What else did you see?
Just that. That's all. That's why I came over here. I wanted to tell Miss Abby to call the police. But if that was you and that's your car, I'll be running along.
What was the man doing at the car?
I don't know. Don't you see? I was on my way over here.
I think you're lying.
I think she tells the truth, Johnny. Let's let her go now, eh?
I think she's lying. Breaking into a house at this time of night?
Take
I
your
think she's
hands
dangerous. She
off of
shouldn't
me.
be allowed around loose. Doctor.
Off! No! Stop! Stop! Teddy! Teddy, tell these men who I am!
That's my daughter, Alice!
No!
Charge!
No!
Doctor,
Get off!
your handkerchief.
Get off! No!
The cellar. Oh, take care of her.
What's the matter? What are you doing?
We caught a burglar, a sneak thief. Go back to your room.
Well, we'll call the police.
We've called the police. We'll handle this. Go back to your room. Do you hear me? Don't answer that. Hi.
Mortimer! I've almost been killed!
Well, I was at the Nora Bays Theater, and I should have known better.
This is your brother Jonathan, and this is Dr. Einstein.
I know this isn't a nightmare, but what is this?
This is your brother Jonathan.
We've come back home, Mortimer.
He's had his face changed. Dr. Einstein performed the operation.
Who'd you say this was?
Your brother Jonathan.
Jonathan. Jonathan, you always were a whore, but you have to look like one too.
Easy, Johnny, easy.
Mortimer, have you forgotten the things I used to do to you when we were boys? Remember the time you were tied to the bedpost? The needles into your fingernails?
Yes, I remember Jonathan. I remember you was the most venomous, vicious, detestable form of animal life I've ever known.
Now, you boys, don't you start quarreling the minute you see each other.
There won't be any fight, Aunt Abby. Jonathan, you're not wanted here. Get out.
Dr. Einstein and I have been invited to stay.
Not in this house.
Well, just for tonight.
I don't want him anywhere near me.
Well, we invited him to stay the night, and it wouldn't be nice to go back on our word.
All right, tonight. First thing in the morning, you're out.
Yes.
Where are they sleeping?
I put them in Jonathan's old room.
That's my old room. I'm staying there. I'm here to stay.
Oh, dear.
That's okay. We sleep down here.
You bet your life you'll sleep down here.
Johnny, you sleep on the armchair, and I'll sleep on the window seat.
Oh, the window seats. Well, let's not argue about it. The window seat's good enough for me. I'll sleep on the window seat.
Let's get our stuff packed. I'll go up and get it.
Don't bother, Doctor. I already told you I'm sleeping down here.
Well, you know, all this argument, it makes me think about Mr. Spinalzo.
Spinalzo! Well then, Mortimer, there's no need to inconvenience you like this. You can sleep down here. We'll sleep over here. You can have the room.
Your sudden consideration for me is very unconvincing, Jonathan.
Come on, Johnny. Let's get our stuff, eh?
Doctor, I already told you, don't worry about it. I'm sleeping down here.
Come on, I tell you about Mr. Spinalzo.
Who's this Mr. Spinalzo?
It's just a friend Johnny's been looking for. I'll tell you all about it while we're back, okay?
Well, don't bring anyone else in here.
Mortimer, there's no need for you to sleep down here. Well, I can go in with Martha, and you can take my room.
No trouble at all, Aunt Tabby. We'll be back in a few minutes, and then you can have the room, Mortimer.
You're just wasting your time. I told you I'm sleeping down here.
Mortimer, I've almost been killed.
You've almost been... Aunt Abby, Aunt Martha!
Oh, no, it was Jonathan.
He mistook her for a sneak thief.
No, it was more than that. He's some kind of a maniac. Mortimer, I'm afraid of him.
My darling, you're trembling. Have you any smelling salts?
No, but we have some tea.
Coffee. Make some for me too, please, and some sandwiches. I haven't had any dinner.
Oh, that's what we'll do. We'll make supper for the both of you.
Yes.
And Martha, Abby, we'll put our hats up here.
Yes, let's put them over here.
Where are you going somewhere? It's after 12. 12! Elaine, you've got to get out of here. Something's come up.
What?
Come on, get out, get out.
No, Mortimer, what's going on in this house?
What do you mean, what's going on in this house?
You were supposed to take me to dinner in the theater tonight. Then you called it off. Then you asked me to marry you. I said yes. And then you were chasing me out of the house. Now, after your brothers tried to strangle me, you're trying to get me out of here. Now you listen here, Mr. Brewster. Before I leave, I need to know where I stand. Do you love me?
Elaine, yes. I love you very much. In fact, I love you so much, I can't marry you, dear.
Have you suddenly gone crazy?
No, but it's just a matter of time. You see, insanity runs in my family. Practically gallops. That's why I can't marry you, dear.
Now, wait a minute. You've got to do better than that.
No, there's a strange taint in the Brewster blood. If you really knew my family, it's what you'd expect if Zeinberg had written Hell's a Poppin'.
Now, just because Teddy's a little crazy.
No. Okay, take the first Brewster, for example. You know, the one who came over on the Mayflower? Well, back then, the Indians used to scalp the settlers. Well, he used to scalp the Indians.
Mortimer, this ancient history.
No, the whole family. Take my grandfather. He used to try his patent medicines out on dead people to be sure he wouldn't kill them.
He wasn't so crazy. He made $1 million.
And there's Jonathan. You just said he was a maniac. He tried to kill you.
But he's your brother, not you. I'm in love with you.
Oh, and there's Teddy, too. You know Teddy. He thinks he's Roosevelt. No, dear. No Brewster should marry. And I know now that if I had met my father in time, I'd have stopped him.
Mortimer, all this doesn't prove that you're crazy. Well, look at your aunts. They're Brewsters, aren't they? And the sanest, sweetest people I've ever met.
Well, even they have their peculiarities.
Yes, but what lovely peculiarities. Kindness, generosity, human sympathy.
There's another one!
There are always others, but you can't tell me anything about your aunt.
Elaine, look, you've got to go home. Something's come up.
Up from where? We're here alone together.
Look, I know I'm acting irrationally, but just put it down to the fact that I'm a mad Brewster.
Hey, you've got to do better than that. If you think you're going to get out of this by pretending you're insane, you're crazy. You may not want to marry me, but I'm going to marry you. I love you, you dope.
Well, if you love me, will you get out of here?
Will you at least walk me home? I'm frightened.
Afraid? A little walk to the cemetery?
Mortimer, will you kiss me goodnight?
Of course, dear. Now run along home, Elaine. I've got to do something.
You critic!
Aunt Abby and Martha, come in here!
We'll be in a minute, dear.
Come in here now!
Yes, dear, what is it?
I thought you promised me not to let anyone in this house while I was gone.
Well, Jonathan just walked in.
I don't mean Jonathan.
Well, and Dr. Einstein was with him.
I don't mean Dr. Einstein either. Who's that in the window seat?
Well, I told you, Mr. Hoskins.
It is not Mr. Hoskins.
Well, who can that be?
Aunt Abby, are you trying to tell me you've never seen this man before?
Well, I certainly am. Why, this is a fine how do you do.
Aunt Abby,
It's getting so that anybody can just walk into this house.
don't try and get out of this. That's another one of your gentlemen.
Why, Mortimer, how can you say that? Well, this man is an imposter. And if he came here to be buried in our cellar, why, he's mistaken.
Aunt Abby, you admitted to me you put Mr. Hoskins in the window seat.
Yes, I did.
Well, this man couldn't have just gotten the idea from Mr. Hoskins. By the way, where was Mr. Hoskins?
Well, he must have gone to Panama.
Oh, so you buried him.
No, not yet. No, he's down there waiting for the services. Well, what with Jonathan in the house, well, we haven't had a minute. Oh, dear. We have so wanted to have a double funeral, but well, I will not read services over a total stranger.
Aunt Abby, how can I believe you want any of this? There are 12 men in your cellar, and you admit to me you poisoned them.
Well, yes, I did. You don't think I'd stoop to telling a fib, do you?
Oh, Mortimer, I'd like to have a word with you.
A word's about all you'll have time for, Jonathan, because I've decided you and your doctor friend are going to have to get out just as quickly as possible.
I'm glad you recognize the fact that you and I can't live under the same roof together. But you've arrived at the wrong solution. Now take your suitcase and get out.
Jonathan, you're beginning to bore me. You played your one-night stand in Brooklyn. Now move on.
My dear Mortimer, just because you've graduated from the back fence to the typewriter, don't think you've grown up. Now I'm staying and you're leaving, and I mean now.
If you think I can be frightened, if you think there's anything I fear...
Martha, you just come and see what's in this window seat.
Now, Aunt
Now,
Abby.
Aunt Abby! Jonathan, let Aunt Martha see what's in the window seat. Aunt Abby, I owe you an apology. It seems Jonathan and Dr. Einstein are leaving now, and they're taking their cold companion with them. Jonathan, you're a Brewster, and as such, I'm going to give you a chance to get out and take the evidence with you. You can't ask for more than that. No? And I'm going for the police.
Don't reach for that telephone. Have you forgotten what's happened to Mr. Spinalzo?
Spinalzo? I knew he was a foreigner.
Remember, what's happened to Mr. Spinalzo can happen to you too.
Oh,
Hello, Miss Abby.
Hello, Officer O'Hara. What can we do for you?
Well, I noticed your lights was on. I thought maybe there was some sickness in the house, so I just stopped by. You got company. I'll excuse myself. Sorry I bothered you.
Oh, no, come right in. Come in.
Come in.
Yes, come in, Officer O'Hara.
This is our nephew, Mortimer.
How do you do?
And this is our other nephew, Jonathan.
Pleased to meet you. Well, must be nice having your nephews in for a while. They gonna be sticking around for a bit?
I'm staying. My brother Jonathan is just leaving.
Say, haven't I seen you somewhere before?
Well, I don't think so. No, well, Jonathan hasn't been back for years.
Maybe I seen a picture of you somewhere before.
I don't think so.
Well, you'll be wanting to say your goodbyes. I'll be toddling along.
Oh, no, O'Hara, you can't leave yet. We're about to have coffee in a minute. Won't you join us?
I just stopped by to make sure everything was all right.
Coffee.
Oh, you can.
I'll make some sandwiches too. I ought to know your appetite by now, Officer O'Hara.
Don't bother, Miss Martha. Don't bother. I gotta ring in. Excuse me, Mr. Brewster.
No, O'Hara, you can have a cup of coffee with us. Sit down.
Say, haven't I seen a photograph of your brother around here someplace before?
I don't think so.
Well, he sure reminds me of somebody.
He looks like someone you've probably seen in the movies.
Oh, no, I don't go to the movies. I hate the movies. My mother, she says the movies is a hopeless art.
Yes, they all are. Your mother said that?
Oh, yeah, she's an actress. Stage actress. Perhaps you've heard of her. Peaches Latour.
Sounds like a name I've heard on the program.
Mm-hmm.
What roles did she play?
Well, her biggest role was Mutt and Jeff. She played it for 3 years. I was actually born on tour the 3rd season.
You were?
Yes, sir. Sioux Falls, Iowa. I was born in the dressing room at the end of the 2nd act, and Mother made the finale.
What a trooper. Yeah, there must be a good story in your mother. You know, I write about the theater.
You do? Say, you're not Mortimer Brewster, the dramatic critic.
Yes.
Well, I am pleased to meet your acquaintance. I tell you, Mr. Brewster, me and you, we have got some things in common. We are in the same line of business.
We are?
Yes, sir. I'm a playwright. This being on the police force, this is just temporary.
How long have you been on the force?
12 years. But I'm collecting material for a play.
I'll bet it's a honey.
Oh, it should be. All the drama I see being a cop. Mr. Brewster, you got no idea what goes on in Brooklyn.
I think I have.
Say, Mr. Brewster, what time you got?
10 after 1.
Oh, I have got to clock in. Sorry, Mr. Brewster.
Oh, no, you can't leave yet, O'Hara. On that play of yours,
Yeah?
I may be able to help you out.
Say, would you? Oh, it was fate me walking in here tonight. Here, sit down. Let me read you the plot. Got it right here. Let's begin at the beginning.
Oh, you're leaving now, eh? Good. You don't have much time, you know.
Everything's just about ready. Oh, Jonathan, are you going? Well, goodbye, Jonathan. Goodbye, Dr. Einstein. Oh, doesn't this case belong to you?
Yeah, that's right, Jonathan. You can't leave without all of your things, now can you? Now, O'Hara, it was nice meeting you, but you've got to go ring in.
No, Mr. Brewster, I'm not leaving now.
Why not?
Well, you just promised to help me with my play. Me and you's gonna write my play together.
Oh, I can't do that, O'Hara. I'm not a creative writer.
I'll be creative. You just put words to it.
But O'Hara...
No, sir, Mr. Brewster, I am not leaving this house until you hear my plot.
In that case, Mortimer, we'll be running along.
No, Jonathan, you can't leave yet. You can't leave without all of your things. O'Hara, seriously. Now, get going.
No, I can wait. I waited 12 years.
Well, sorry I was so long.
Wait, don't bring that in here. O'Hara, would you care for a bite in the kitchen?
The kitchen?
Yes, Jonathan is leaving.
Oh, very nice.
Yes.
Come along, Officer O'Hara.
You don't mind eating in the kitchen, Officer O'Hara?
Where else you gonna eat?
Well, goodbye, Jonathan. It was nice to see you again.
Jonathan, I'm glad you came back to Brooklyn, because it gave me a chance to throw you out. The first one out is your boyfriend. Mr. Spinalzo.
Hey, Mr. Brewster, we can talk in here.
I'll be in a minute.
I might have known you'd grow up to write a play with a policeman.
Now get going now. All three of you.
Doctor, this affair between my brother and me has got to be settled.
Now, Johnny, your brother gives us a chance to get away. What more could you ask?
You don't understand. This goes back a good many years.
Now, Johnny, let's get going, eh?
We're not going. We're going to sleep right here tonight.
What, with a cop in the kitchen and Mr. Spinalzo in the window seat?
That's all he's got on us. We'll take Mr. Spinalzo down and dump him in the bay and then come right back here. Then if he tries to interfere...
Johnny!
Doctor?
All right. We got to stick together. Someday, we get stuck together. Hey, if we're not leaving, do I gotta take these out?
No, hide them in the cellar. Move fast. Spinalzo can go out the same way he came in.
Hey, Johnny, come quick.
What's the matter?
You know that hole in the cellar?
Yes?
We got an ace in that hole. Come on, I show you.
Jonathan! 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 Jonathan!
Yes, Mortimer.
Thought I told you and your doctor friend to get out of here.
We're not going.
Oh. You don't think I'm serious about this? Do you want O'Hara to know what's in that window seat?
We're staying here.
All right. This gets rid of you and O'Hara at the same time. Officer O'Hara, come in here.
If you tell O'Hara what's in the window seat, I'll tell him what's down in the cellar.
The cellar?
There's an elderly gentleman down there who seems to be very dead.
What were you doing down in the cellar?
What's he doing in the cellar?
No thanks, ma'am. I've had plenty. They were great. Hey, Mr. Brewster, your aunts want to hear the plot, too. Should I bring them in?
Oh, no, O'Hara. No. We can't do that now. You've got to go ring in.
Oh, the heck with ringing in. I'm going to get your aunts, bring them out here, and we'll talk about the plot.
Oh, no, O'Hara. We can't do that. Not in front of so many people. We'll get together alone someplace later.
Hey, how about the back room at Kelly's?
Yeah, the back room of Kelly's. You go to Kelly's, but you're going to ring in on your way, huh? How about we do that? Yeah.
Why don't you two go down to the cellar?
That's fine with me. Is that the cellar?
No, O'Hara. We've already agreed on Kelly's, okay? Let's go to Kelly's.
All right, but it's only going to take me a few minutes.
All right, and you're going to ring in on your way. I'll ditch this guy and be back in 5 minutes. I'll expect to find you gone. Wait for me.
We'll wait for him, Doctor.
Yeah,
I've waited a great many years for a chance like this.
we got him right where we want him.
Yeah.
Boy, did he look guilty or what?
Take the bags up to our room, Doctor.
Okay.
Gone? Oh, we thought we heard somebody leave.
Just Mortimer, and he'll be back in a few minutes. Is there any food left in the kitchen? I think Dr. Einstein and I would enjoy a bite to eat.
But you won't have any time.
No, if you're still here when he gets back, well, he won't like it.
Oh, he's got to like it.
Get us something to eat while we bury Mr. Spinalzo in the cellar.
No, Jonathan, you can't bury Mr. Spinalzo in the cellar. No, you've got to take him with you.
There's a friend of Mortimer's downstairs waiting for him.
A friend of Mortimer's?
Yes, he and Mr. Spinalzo will get along fine together. They're both dead.
Oh, he means Mr. Hodgkins.
Mr. Hoskins?
Yes, Mr. Hoskins.
You know about what's downstairs?
Well, of course we do.
But he's not a friend of Mortimer's.
No, he's one of our gentlemen.
But Mr. Hoskins.
You're gentlemen?
Yes. Besides, there's no room for Mr. Spinalzo in the cellar. It's crowded already.
Crowded with what?
Well, there are 12 graves down there.
12 graves.
And that leaves very little room. And we're going to need it.
You mean you and Aunt Martha have murdered 12?
Murdered? Why, certainly not. It's one of our charities.
Why, it's a mercy.
So you just take your Mr. Spinalzo out of here.
You've done that here in this house, and you've buried them down there.
Hey, Johnny. They've been chased all over the world. Your odds stay right here in Brooklyn, and they do just as good as you.
What?
Well, they got 12. You got 12.
I've got 13.
No, Johnny, only 12.
13. There's Mr. Spinalzo, then the first one in London, 2 in Johannesburg, 1 in Sydney, 1 in Melbourne, 2 in San Francisco, and 1 in Phoenix, Arizona.
Phoenix?
The filling station.
Oh, yeah, I count him.
3 in Chicago and the 1 in South Bend. That makes 13.
Yeah, but you can't count the one in South Bend. He died of pneumonia.
You wouldn't have gotten pneumonia if I hadn't shot him.
But he don't count, Johnny. He still don't count. They got 12, you got 12.
He counts with me. I say 13.
No, Johnny, 12. The old ladies are just as good as you are.
Oh, they are they? Well, that's easily settled. All I need is one more. That's all, just one more.
Well, here I am.